Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to the Not So Daily Show, the show that would come to you daily, except I'm not part of the Thuma Mina Media Group. Now, before we get started, click the subscribe button. So, several screenshots have emerged of a WhatsApp group containing a number of top broadcasters across different stations. The WhatsApp group named Thuma Mina Media Group has been accused by Twitter users of pushing an agenda that supports President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, I don't want to make conclusions, but if a PSL referee WhatsApp group emerged with the name Mamelodi Sundowns for life, well, it might not be as easy for me to trust the decisions they make. So I can't blame supporters of former President Jacob Zuma for thinking that there might be something fishy about the way news stations have been reporting on his case lately. And speaking of that state capture inquiry, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo has decided to lay charges against former President Jacob Zuma for leaving the commission without his permission.
Mr. Pretorius, the head of the Commission's legal team, indicated that Mr. Zuma was not entitled to excuse himself unilaterally, as the summons that had been issued and served on him was still valid and binding, and that he required my permission to leave. I adjourned the proceedings for the tea break. During the adjournment, Mr. Zuma left the commission and did not return after the adjournment. He did so without my permission. I have decided to request the Secretary of the Commission to lay a criminal complaint with the South African police against Mr. Zuma.
Whoa, that would be scary. If President Jacob Zuma wasn't facing 999,000 charges that he hasn't been prosecuted for already, from rape to money laundering to corruption to wasting state resources. At this rate, Jacob Zuma could live 9 lives and still be awaiting trial. Because the funniest thing about this situation is that Zuma is actually the one that appointed Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. And now they seem to be on opposite ends of the universe. But one thing that they will always have in common is that none of them would be here if it wasn't for a certain Indian man.
I have somehow learned that there is a particular loan relating to food that you took.
Yes.
And I raise these things because many people in South Africa are poor and they could be inspired not to lose hope no matter their circumstances if they were to hear your story, considering the position that you have been nominated for. Tell us about that loan.
Thank you, Chief Justice. When I finished matric, I was quite confident that I would get what used to be called then exemption, and therefore would qualify to go into university. I didn't think I would have a problem with getting that, and I was confident that I was going to get a bursary too. But my problem was that at home, the situation was quite bad. My mother had stopped working 2 years before my matric. She had lost her job, and by the time I finished what would now be called grade 11, she said she had exhausted all her savings. And so somehow I felt that the society, the community would be thinking that after matric I would now be able to go and work and help my mother, whom the whole community could see was struggling. But I wanted to go and do law, and I was determined, but I felt that I couldn't go unless I made arrangements to make sure that my mother and my brothers and sisters behind would be able to have something to eat. And my mother was not working, she was knitting and selling jerseys, but that wasn't going well. So I decided one Saturday to go to Ikopo, to town, and I approached a certain Indian businessman who owned a certain wholesale shop. I told him my story, said I wanted to go to university and study, but this is the problem. Is there any way he could give me a loan which I would use to support my mother and my siblings, so that after I'd finished my degree, I could then pay him back. Very interestingly, that man didn't even ask me many questions. He said, okay, I can help you, but I can't give you money. I'll give you a voucher, which you must give to your mom. Once a month, she must come to my shop, and she will be given groceries up to the value, I think it was 20 rand, if I'm not mistaken, 20 rand or 40 rand, but that was
a lot
long
of
time
money
ago.
back then.
Yeah, it was quite some money then. And he said, until you finish your degree, this is what we'll do, and then you can repay it after your degree. So I was very happy. He didn't ask me to sign anything. He just took my word. And my mom could not believe it when I came back from town and told her that I had been able to make arrangements so that they would be able to have groceries while I was studying. And that is what happened for 3 years. And when I'd finished my junior degree, I went back to this man. His name was Mr. Musa, and thanked him and asked him what arrangements we could make for me to pay back. Sorry, Chief Justice. So he said, no, don't worry. Just do to others what I've done to you. And I thought that was very important. And in my own small way, I tried to do that.
Until now.
Yes, Chief Justice.
So guys, tell me what you think. Was it correct for former President Jacob Zuma and his council to walk out of the commission, given that they didn't agree with the decision made by the Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo to not recuse himself? Or should they have stayed and just pulled the Dudu Mieni for the remainder of the 4-day periods to see out the summons? Or is it just a complete misunderstanding? Let me know in the comments below, and also don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and share the video with a friend. And stay tuned for more episodes of the Not So Daily Show that will be coming to you almost daily for the foreseeable future. Until next time, cheers.